So the tune Brick House by the Commodores is one of those classic slap bass riffs that goes like this. And there's all sorts of variations. So however, there's a lot of rhythmic work going on here. This isn't just playing on the beats. This is 16th note work. So it's worth practicing this slowly to make sure that you get that inflection of the ba ba ba. So. Now, Darcy at the moment on iOS GarageBand is playing in 8th notes. If I was to raise the complexity of the hi-hat to 4 out of 4, she will now play 16ths. And that's what you've got to think about when you're doing this riff. I put in little ghost notes there just to show you where those notes came in, but actually it sounds better without those. So it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So it's 1, 4 and 7 of that little group of 16ths. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. It works really well if that is really in time with the drums, and actually not behind the beat, but you're certainly not going to rush it. The first part of that riff is the riff that is, you know, shared by the brass section as well. But after that, it's not so much. So you do have a little bit of control over what you can do with that. Don't forget, this was recorded in a studio in 1977-ish. So it's, you know, the bass riff is going to be slightly different every time because they didn't have cut and paste. You know, you just work the riff out and then just, you know, make your tune, do your performance. And it's the little intricacies and the little differences and the little variations that make that tune what it is. If you just program that same bass riff to repeat time after time, it just wouldn't have that same clout. So don't worry too much if there's variations, and ideally it's good for your musical ear and exploration to just try little things. You could do that. Put a little octave in. Don't do it all the time. You know, it's just a little thing that you can put in. But once again, you've got to play for the song. She's a brick house. She mighty mighty. When the vocals come in, just turn it down a bit. But in the intro, or if it's your solo in a gig and you've got to play that riff, perfect. So the riff then, you slap on the A, 5th fret, keep the note short, and then you've got 3, 5 on the next string, C and D. And then the rhythmic bit, the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 bit, is 3, 4, 5. So the riff then. That's really the main bit of it. And then the next bit, 5, 3, 5, and then you've got a 5, but you slide. then come back to 3. There's so many different sounds there that you can't replicate on a computer with a bass sound. Oh. And then the last 2 notes are 5 and 7 on the D string, but you pick those with your finger instead. And also, you slap that C. And then there's that sort of little, it's more of an effect really. You don't have to worry about which fret it starts on, which it ends on, you know. Because if you do that, it's just going to sound tense. It wouldn't have been done in the studio. It just would have been just a little sort of inflection at the end. Etc. So, Brick House by the Commodores. Give it a listen and try and hear the variations in that line, which will be there for the entire song. When the verse does come in, you've got everything, the bass line really drops. It simplifies to allow that vocal to come through. And that's it. Make it simple when the vocals are there. When they're not there, you can explore a bit more.